Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Unconditional Life. I'm John.
I'm Johnny.
We're here today to talk to you about the power of words, the things that we say. I learned a few years ago that agreements we make are actually contracts. And we, in our current life, have been duped into believing that contracts are only legal documents that we sign in front of a witness or a notary. But I would pose to you that the words that you use, in specific in the way you talk to yourself and the agreements that you make, your words are agreements and contracts. When you agree to something, it's actually hurts you inside your soul when you don't keep your agreements. And so I think that that this topic is, and again, we're not, please, everybody out there that may be listening to us, don't think that we think we're perfect at any of this.
Nope.
Like we're just bringing out to conversations of
We're
things
just
that,
talking, John.
Yeah. These are mistakes I've made in my life, and I've learned that the more I stick to my word, the happier everything works out for me. One silly way that I've done it is I quit using a snooze alarm, because that's, to me, that's the first lie I tell myself in the morning. I'm going to get up at 6:30 or after 2 snoozes. So that's just a silly way that I treat it. So I think words are a contract, an agreement, and we are creating with them.
Yeah. Well, it's the first level of manifestation. What I mean by that is the easiest way for you to create anything in your life is to open your mouth and say something. Now, as soon as you say something, the words that you carry, they're powerful. They're powerful things. You can completely change somebody's day for the good or worse just by saying a couple words to them. You have the ability to affect and infect people around you. Why would you use that power in a negative way? You know, too many of us, just to look cool or just to keep up appearances, will say or do something that inside doesn't align to how you truly feel, but you say it anyway. Well, people are hearing what you say. And whether you think that's portraying who you really are or not, they get their perception too. And so all they do is hear you saying the negative stuff. So with words being as powerful as they are, we really need to make sure that we're using that for a good thing, a good power. It's what's wrong with infecting positivity in somebody's life as often as you can.
I love that idea. I especially, oh man, do I dare go here?
We're just talking, John.
In the day of the keyboard warrior, where people are just totally unafraid, like I grew up in a time, and this is going to be frowned on, I grew up in a time where if you rattled somebody's cage, when we were boys, you just punched them in the freaking nose. Like,
Yep.
There was a way to hold somebody in check, so we learned there were some things you could say to people and you couldn't. We didn't have the word police online and all this crazy stuff that's going on with, like, my brothers and sisters, our words have the power to create or to kill. Some of the children that come around and spend time with my child are so scared of the perception and the words that their parents say to them that they would almost rather kill themselves than go have a conversation with their parents. I think we do have a responsibility to affect instead of infect. In this world where you could be anything you want. One of the reasons I'm here in this podcast, I'm totally going to derail for a minute, is because my whole life I've wondered why people can't be kind to each other. Why do we say that crappy thing when you have to think about it? You have to actually make up a sarcastic comment. Why aren't we in a world where it's so much easier to say, attaboy, or good girl, or, oh my gosh, I see you trying so hard. Why are we so prone to tear one another down? I would say, just like we were talking before we started this episode, and I would like you to go into that. Why do we cast a spell on someone when they're not even around sometimes?
Yeah.
Tell me that. Go into that for a minute.
It's the poisonous topic of gossip. A lot of people, some of our best times that we have in a day are sitting around with our buddies tearing other people down. Either because it in some weird way unifies you and your friends. I don't know. But no matter what, when you speak, you are casting a spell. Now, if you say something negative or don't have anything nice to say about somebody, you're working with black magic here. You're spreading and creating something that's not going to benefit anybody, especially yourself. Because when that type of talk is happening around you, you start to talk and think about yourself. You think it's okay to say that stuff about yourself too. And I think actually it starts there. Somebody who's really, really confident in themselves and knows who they are and knows that they're full of love, they don't tear anybody down.
They don't have to.
They don't have to.
Yeah, we don't.
What is in it for them?
Yeah, we don't.
What's in it for us now?
And while we talked about that, just recently we talked about perception. I want to talk about this for just a minute. Like, you're sitting in a group. Let's talk about. I don't like sarcasm. I never have. It's always cut me to the bone. I will leave a sarcastic conversation. I don't like sarcastic comedy. It just hurts my heart. And I don't. I've never, somehow it's just never that bashing thing. I don't like the roast of Tom Brady and all that. There's ways to be funny without crapping on somebody else.
Right.
And so I've just always strove for a different elevated conversation. Why isn't that our focus? It's just as easy. Why would I come into a room, let's say a campfire, or let's say here in our studio where we're today, if I were to walk in this studio and start to talk about someone that all three of us knew in a derogatory manner, no matter what, I am reaching into your perceptions of this person and manipulating it unconsciously and casting a spell over you.
You're
and
changing the way. You're changing the way I see that person. Even if I don't agree with you,
yes,
it still has an effect on the way I see a different person. I want to have my own perception of people. You know why, John? Because I know deep down I'm somebody who is aware that I'm full of love.
Yes.
A lot of us aren't aware of that.
Yes.
They feel it from time to time, but in a very practical way. They don't realize they are full of love. It's because all this gossip is hidden it from them. But when you're full of love and you are being yourself, I like the perceptions I have of other people. So if you bring a different perception to me and say, hey, this person did this and this, and I don't like them because of that, that hurts me too, because you're trying to manipulate the way I see somebody that I'm already seeing through a lens of love. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I do. And again, we're not perfect. I do my very best. And laughingly, everybody makes fun of the rose-colored lens. But I always, my whole life, I have always been not even a glass half full kind of guy, because the glass is half full of air and water. So, I mean, your dad said it all the other day. I'm already living in heaven. Why would I complain about anything? Like, I'm already alive with this gift of love and hope and possibility. Why would I be miserable, and why would I try and cast a spell on anyone else?
Yeah.
My grandfather used to say to me that people that are complete in themselves talk about ideas. And people that are insecure and afraid, they talk about other people. And I have found that to be true.
Very true.
The more that I have grown, the more complete I have become as a man, the less I care about. I don't even care to engage in a conversation about what happened at work, unless it's pertinent to like something we've achieved, and it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I don't like bashing sessions.
Well,
And I think it's the simplest way to take control of your life. Like we forget, if that's the way you talk about your friends, how are you talking to yourself?
Yeah, and that's the thing.
The way I learned an amazing statistic one time. If you get a prescription from a veterinarian for your cat or your dog, 90+% of the time, I think it's even higher than that, it's like 98% of the time, we give that medicine to our animal exactly the way it was prescribed. Do you know that less than half of us take our medications the way they're prescribed to us? So we take better care of our pets than we do of our bodies. And if we're talking trash about our friends, think about how hard we are. I have this crazy program from my ADD youth that when I do something, it sneaks up on me. I never know when it's going to attack, and it says, "You are a bad boy. You are so stupid," and it is just it, and I know why. And I go, "What's wrong with you?" I know why. Because I was a really high energy kid, and a bunch of people that loved me, that didn't know what to do with me, said, "What's wrong with this kid?" all the time. And the supercomputer in my brain, I know that nobody meant to hurt me, but the supercomputer that's called our brain went to these words, these spells that were getting cast on me, going, all these people that love me, that are taking care of me, that look out for me, they think something's wrong with me. What is wrong with John?
Right.
Talk about a perception to hand down to a child.
Yeah.
Or to a grown-up, to anybody. And I'm not, like, again, this is not about placing blame. It's about becoming aware of where I use my spells, where I cast my words, especially about myself.
Yeah. Well, it goes contrary to what we're here for. We're full of love, and we're here to help each other and share that message of love. And that's ultimately the deepest reason why we all chose to come here, is to spread this love, to help the planet, and to be more of who we are. Now, we've been given tools to make that happen. The tools we've been given are, number one, our first level of manifestation is our voice, or the things we have to say.
Yes.
So if you're going contra, and you'll feel it too. You'll feel it when you say something that is negative about somebody, whether you admit it or not. Deep down, you feel the disalignment with what you just said. And so when you do say something bad about somebody else, you're using the tools we've been given to spread love as a weapon. We've been given a gift to use to better this world that we are using as a weapon. And that's what's going on in the world right now. And it's sad, but that's why we're talking, John. That's why
we're here.
Things
folks.
have to change.
Yeah.
We have to wake up to who we are. Who we are deep down, right here, right in that sucker right there, is full of love. And that love, it's like a fire. It doesn't cost you any of the fire to light somebody else's candle.
Not at all.
You don't lose an ounce. All it does is spread. That's what we're here for.
As a matter of fact, I feel empowered. The more I have conversations, just like we're having today, and I have them half a dozen times a week,
Yep.
and so do you, and in the ramblings around the world. The world is starved for just honest conversation with hope, filled with love and possibilities, instead of the hurt and chaos and division that we see everywhere. And I won't get into it at all, but you know, it even starts with something as simple as people want to beat each other up over who won the Super Bowl. Come on, folks, let's live in love. Like political differences, why? Real love is I celebrate the fact that my brother Johnny believes a lot of stuff way different from me. Yeehaw! It keeps me from being too stupid in my own right, because I got somebody saying, "But did you see this? Did you see that? Did you pay attention to this?" We just want us all to wake up and be attentive and conscious and deliberate and intentional in our life. And one of the first ways you can do it is how you talk to you.
Yeah. Just remember that your words are a tool. They've been given to you to show the love that you are inside, to push that forth into the world. Stop using it as a weapon.
Amen.
Stop using your words as a weapon. What a gift.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Where can you go from there?
Thank you,
be
guys.
the gift that you are. Use the love that you have. We love you all.